997, 998.
Jeez, this is still working out for me. Way too good to split.
Ridiculous. Really, Kaya? Working hard or hardly working?
Leave me alone, I'm running horizontally.
Oh my god. Oscar, just because you can count to 1,000 doesn't mean you can do 1,000 push-ups.
Sorry, I couldn't be in shape like Tony.
Guys, come on. We're trying to get our bodies in shape for Senn TV. Spring is right around the corner.
Come on, guys, it's time to go film.
BC, where were you?
Girl, I don't need to work out.
It's Mr. George, security officer at Senn High School, and you're watching Senn TV.
What were you even thinking? Taking them to work out?
Well, we have to look good, duh.
Look good. Talking about look good. Please, just go ahead.
Anyways, welcome back, Bulldogs. BC, it's been such a long time since we've anchored together. We haven't anchored since 4.1.
I guess. I mean, it's not like I like anchor with you anyways. I'll just take what I get.
Ridiculous.
Remember Think Week, Bulldogs? When we all walked to Loyola's campus as a class, it's back. Think Week will run from March 4th to March 7th. Be sure to turn in your permission slips if you haven't. Let's take a look back at some highlights from previous years.
To get outside the regular school day, get outside the classroom, and get onto a college campus.
From March 5th through March 8th, students of all grade levels had the opportunity to attend Think Week, an experience that exposes us to the college lifestyle and provides future life skills at the same time. Each grade level made a mile-long walk from Senn to Loyola University. Now here's John Schmidt on his opinion on how the week went down.
I think it's been really smooth. The teachers have been wonderful. The students have been receptive and engaging and asking really good questions.
After all of the events and presentations, students walked back after yet another successful Think Week. Here's to more of the same next year.
We also spoke briefly to Mr. Wolf, this year's organizer. Here's what he had to say about this year's Think Week.
Everyone, I'm hoping this year's Think Week will give students a better idea of what college might be like and hopefully prepare them, at least get them one step closer to being more comfortable going off to college. So we have everything from college tours planned to panels with current college students. We've got professors teaching classes, and we of course have the college lunch experience, which everyone loved in the past. So hopefully you have a great week.
Sophomores and juniors will be getting individual Chromebooks as Senn continues to move towards one-to-one. In order to get a Chromebook, your parent must attend a technology session, so be sure to have them visit the one-to-one technology page on the Senn website. Seniors, we haven't forgotten about you. Chrome cards will be placed in senior classrooms.
On Tuesday, March 12th, Senn will hold one-to-one tech meetings. The sophomore class will meet during third period and the junior class will meet during eighth period.
More fun field trips for art students. Theater students will go out to the legendary Steppenwolf Theater on Tuesday, March 5th, and to the Writers Theater on Thursday, March 7th. On Friday, March 8th, the music students will attend the Columbia College Deep Dish Music Festival, and the dance students will go to the Auditorium Theater. It's a nice time to be part of Senn Arts.
Forget to tell your parents to buy tickets to Bruce for Bulldogs on March 8th. They are raising money for Friends of Senn, which helps provide resources for various programs around the school. We're the best friends of Senn. We're the best friends of Senn. We're the best friends of Senn.
Whatever you say, VC. Let's move on to the exciting week we just had here at Senn.
The Visual Arts Showcase was held on Thursday, February 21st. Friends and family were invited to view the stunning work done by visual arts students. Kirsten Terralda and Tommy No filmed the event. Here's the recap.
On February 21st, Visual Art Showcase took place at Senn, where students and families had the chance to see amazing artwork the students have done. Why don't we see what went down?
This is a collection of work from all 4 years of students who are in Senn Arts, so freshman to senior, and it's basically any piece that they've made in the program. So the topic, there's like a wide range of conceptual ideas that the work is about, and lots of different kinds of work visually and different mediums. And I think it's a super strong show.
Since freshman year, I feel like they've definitely always supported all the decisions you've been making as an artist, and always tried to help you grow in whatever way you wanted to.
There's so much good work. There's really like so much, just like student artists have worked so much, like freshmen to sophomore to senior. I mean, like there's so much growth.
I made a self-portrait here inspired by Candy Wiley. I made a scratchboard piece of my classroom, and then I made an Erykah Badu piece. I love Erykah Badu to death, so I was just like, you know what, I have to have some representation of her. And she's just a dope person in general.
It's always a lot of fun to come here. It's an opportunity to see not only my class's artwork, but everyone's artwork from freshmen to seniors, and it's really fun to see what other people are doing in the other art classes.
Were you not able to make it to this showcase? Well, don't be discouraged, because another one is going to take place on May, which more information will be available later on.
That was a great video. I love all the artwork.
Yeah.
Good showcase, guys. So where's Eden?
I don't know. Should we look for her?
No, we have to anchor.
That's true. Ooh.
Hey.
That's tough.
She looks like she's having a hard time there.
I know. But we can't worry too much about it. Let's get back to anchoring. BC, I'm so glad I finished driver's ed 2 years ago.
Yeah. That was too easy.
Maybe for you. But for the very first time, Think First attended Senn in efforts to inform sophomores in driver's ed how to prevent serious injuries. Our junior correspondents filmed the event. Let's take a look.
Think First is all about injury prevention, spinal cord, brain injury. As you guys know, concussions are a big thing with football players, soccer players, really kind of any athlete. Nobody really takes into account what happens behind the wheel of a car. They talked a little bit about getting in a car accident. You're getting in 3 accidents. Your body hitting the seatbelt, your car hitting an object, and then your brain hitting your skull. Nobody really thinks about that. And then making choices. Everybody has a choice to make, whether it's the right choice or the wrong choice. You got to make a decision, especially on the roadway. So that's really what this Think First assembly was about, primarily for sophomores who are getting ready to get out on the road and drive.
Your brain is really soft. It's like Jell-O. And because of what it's made out of, if you break it, we can't fix it.
I would say the one takeaway is that it's really important to think about what you do. Make good choices. Think about what the consequence could be, and sometimes you only have a fraction of a second to think about it. Use your mind to protect your body and really think first.
My story is back in high school. I had all these assemblies. Don't drink and drive. Always wear your seatbelt. And like a lot of the kids here today, it goes right over their head. But we speak to the kids that really want to listen and understand. And that's all in the end that we actually care about, is that people get the story. Like we were talking in the car, Jill and I, even the second grader can understand the correlation between not focusing on the road and severe injury. Man, people get lucky on the road. That's all I can say is they get lucky. But what we talk about is when that luck runs out, and then bad things are gonna happen. Like, you might think I look fine, right? But in the end, I have difficulties now, and I'll have it my entire life. Like, I have problems drinking. I can't do jumping jacks. I can't run. And that's actually on the lucky side of the injury. It could have been a lot worse. I could have, severed my spinal cord. So there are a lot of different speakers that speak on different kind of injuries. Mine just happens to be car crashes.
It's really important to think about the choices you make. The choices you make today will stay with you forever. And use your brain to protect your body. Our motto is use your mind to protect your body, because you can't fix it if you break it. And everything in life is about choices. It's really important to think first.
Man, Senn, do you remember personal project sophomore year?
Yeah, that was a lot of work.
It really was a lot of work. Well, the sophomore's personal project were due last week, and are in the process of being reviewed this week.
Students who have not turned in their project and need to make sure to submit it as soon as possible to their supervisors.
Personal project is a capstone project or an ending project for students that are finishing the middle years program. So all 10th graders do it. All students are assigned a faculty supervisor. Some students are also assigned supervisors that are from Loyola University. The supervisor meets with the students a number of times throughout their work on the project to guide them, give them advice, and encourage them on completing the project.
My name is Mr. Cullinane, and I am a support teacher for a personal project, and I'm also a supervisor to 4 of my students.
Can you tell me about the grading procedure?
Yeah, so my students have turned their personal projects in to manage back, and hopefully all of their supervisors are going to be very happy.
Yeah, so there's a couple of pieces of advice for students that are going to be doing a personal project in the future. So number one is to definitely think really hard about something that you're strongly interested in, because your best chance at doing a good project is going to be when you have chosen something that you have some passion about, because that will keep you motivated. One more piece of advice: make a plan, a solid plan of how you're going to do each step in the project, and stick to that plan.
Let's check again on Eden.
Yeah, I wonder where she's at this time.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not.
Dang, whoa.
Whoa, I didn't know Eden could run.
She looks like she's having a hard time. You're over here talking about her running.
She's been running for a long time.
A long, long time. Anyways, junior Jasmine Garcia profiled IB student Alexandra Alanis about her very busy life. Let's watch and enjoy.
Energetic.
Vibrant. Caring. Tenacious.
Enthusiastic, because you always see her smiling. Dedicated. Her dedication to her studies, her peers, everyone.
She has a drive to do things, and she doesn't let anything stand in her way.
So every time I see her in the hallway, she's so lively.
Alexandra Alanis is a junior at Nicholas Senn High School. She's a hardworking and well-off student that is part of the IB program, which is a rigorous 2-year course that she elaborates on in her own words.
Being in the IB program, it is very challenging at times. As you described it as rigorous, it's very difficult to
manage all of my activities along with the work.
She's also part of many outside activities, but with the help of her friends and teachers, she manages to keep going.
I'm the captain of the soccer team. I've always found a love for soccer, and it's something that I really like doing. Soccer is like a way for me to get away from like all my schoolwork, and like it's a distraction because you need to balance yourself from like making sure you're healthy and making sure that your grades are good and making sure that like you're set a good path for yourself. I'm also in wrestling for managing because, well, initially Miss Cruz asked me to be because she saw me as a good like person who's very well organized and someone who's going to be able to keep up with like outside activities as well as like managing and like my school activities. I have like my parents to keep me motivated. Like my mom's always feeding me because she notices that I don't eat sometimes. But it's like she like keeps me on track, and she's always like helping me when it comes to like my physical, like emotional, like when I have breakdowns, she helps me like overcome them. And then at school, my friends are always there to help me because they're also dealing with some of the same issues, so I'm able to relate to them. And they're always like very positive, or like when they're negative, I'm able to help them. So it's like I know that they're going through the same thing, and so I need to like be there to support them as much as they support me.
With having her parents as role models, having the skills to time balance, and the support of her teachers, she is able to manage the rigorous course.
One person I look up to, like 2 people, which are my parents, because they've told me about how they experienced like their struggles when they were younger, and they told me how theirs were like much more difficult than the ones I deal with today. They dealt with poverty, so like we might have a struggle with like doing our work or something, but they might have a struggle with like finding food or like providing for their family. Stay up like until like 1 or 2 in the morning to finish all my homework, and so that causes me to be exhausted during class, but I'm able to like somehow just power through. But as long as you have the motivation and like a positive attitude to actually like get done with your work and find time to manage everything, you're able to do it. It's not as hard as it seems, but it is very difficult.
If I had a word of advice for Alex, it would be don't sweat the small stuff. Because she does find a lot of success in her studies, and because she tends to spread herself thin, being dedicated to a lot of activities at any given time, one thing that's really important for her is to not get caught up in any small failures that she might see, but really point to all of the successes she's taking in on any given day and use those to determine her future attitude and actions.
Quiet girls don't make history, so get out there and make some noise.
On Tuesday, Chicago held elections for a variety of positions, including mayor, and I was there to serve as an election judge, and I made a little video for you guys to see.
Hey guys, we're here at the polling place. Here are the election judges in the back. I'm one of them, and here are the voters. So this is the 50th ward and the 40th precinct, I believe. So yeah, it's been a great day so far. Here's another voter.
Let's turn over to Eden Voigt for her week in review. Eden, are you okay? I heard you were being chased by a tire all week.
Okay, so a quick recap on last Tuesday's mayoral election. Lori Lightfoot and Tony Preckwinkle made it to the runoff, which surprised Bill Daley because—
Oh no, you didn't look behind!
Yikes, I hope she's okay.
Yeah, she sure looked tired.
I don't think we should tread there.
Let's get it rolling. And last but not least, we have Patrick Williams, who will be covering our Chicago sports teams today. Let's hear from our favorite Chicago super fan.
Hello everyone, my name is Patrick Williams, your sports and political analyst, and today we're going to talk about the Chicago Blackhawks, who last Monday scored the most goals in the NHL against Ottawa Senators, which that game ended in a wild shootout in Madison Square Garden, 8-7. Alex DeBrincat had his first career 5-point game. The only thing hotter than Blackhawks, their streak of hitting the first period over and over again, which scoring 5 or more points. Chris Bryant homers on his first at-bat of spring training for the Chicago Cubs. Here's a sneak preview at the new Cubs video.
So what about you, Don? What do you do?
Nothing.
Really? Nothing at all? So how do you stay fit?
I don't need to do anything to stay fit.
Okay.
That's classic.
So what about you, Mr. C?
Well, little known fact about your dear teacher, Mr. Cullinane, I actually practice martial arts, and last night I was doing martial arts for 2 hours in the evening.
In the house?
No, in the evening at my dojo. I'm master of the dojo.
Oh, nice.
Would you like to see a move?
No.
You're lost.
Sorry. What about you, Insha?
I drink a lot of water.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Gotta stay hydrated. So what about you, Oscar?
I actually work out every morning before coming to school.
Really?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I do. Working on this tummy.
Okay, well, let's finish this off with our famous toots. Toots Magoots.
Action!
Man, Sandy, do you remember the person?
Lazy you can make it in changing numbers.
Man. Our favorite Chicago super fan.
Thank God.
She sure looks tired.
I don't think we should tread there.
Well, let's keep it rolling. Whew. And last but not least.
Wait, yeah, did she start on camera or?
On camera. Oh.
Cece, get up! Okay, guys, we're rolling.
That makes no sense. Don't try to make it sound good. That makes no type of sense.
I don't want to take, that's a stupid answer. Can I do it again?
Wait, the last time wasn't.
Who's telling you to put it down? That's not even the weight. So what about you, Oscar?
I work out every morning before coming to school.
Really?
Yeah. Why you want that face?
Nothing. You look like you work out.
What? I'm so confused.
I was just saying something.